It's day 387 coming up today. We're mostly refurbing a Merlo and sorting out the disc, and we find a massive horseshoe. If you're watching, can you click like, please? Because I want to do a little bit of a social experiment with if everyone that watches clicks likes to see whether it makes a difference to how many people YouTube show it to. So if you want to be involved in the experiment, click like as well. I'm on the RS Components website because it's normally pretty good at buying stuff. So $5.98 for a push button switch for the Merlo joystick. The website's not working properly, it keeps throwing me off. Whereas, so I've just gone on Amazon and I've just ordered 14 buttons for £12, and this was 2 for £6, and they'll come tomorrow. So RS need to sharpen their pencil in future. And we just warm up the bolts, we'll get the snap out. Put that belly plate back on. Andy's warmed these caps up now, so they've expanded, and then that's allowed the stud that was snapped in them to wind out, because it was, if you put the heat on that expands. Put the cold mole grips on the stud, that makes the stud shrink, and then you get some play around the edge there and wind it out. So they're both out now. Get some new bolts in here, hold this up. Good as new that now, look at that. Gonna take that grill off now and then get the hand inside. Try and push that back out. Look at that pin out of there, so I'm just gonna warm it up. Just took this rubber cap off here so we can knock the pin out, because this carriage is properly worn. Straighten that now, just needs a penny washer behind here because it's a bit loose, and that should hold that up. Straighten that was bent, that piece. Clean all that rubbish out of there, new filter on it in a minute. Heat that up now it's undoing rather than wanting to snap. Take that out and then we can get this pin out then. See how badly worn everything is. The chipper's just been its normal self, where if for some reason this morning the clutch didn't want to engage, so we messed around, found a solenoid that was getting hot, we swapped it for a different one. Luckily we had one on the shelf. Didn't seem to make any difference, but then we turned it off and on again and now it's working. So I'm just hoping it was that solenoid. Otherwise it's got an intermittent fault which is going to annoy me for the until we sort it out. Maybe I should have bought a chipper rather than the maintenance. Heated this up now, got a sledgehammer, get it going backwards and forwards, but it's quite tight, so I'm going to weld a bolt or a nut on that end, spin it with the air gun so it cleans itself a bit, hopefully it'll come out a bit easier, but it's a bit hot at the moment. It's that hot at the moment, it's just evaporating WD-40, so we can't get it to work, but at least it's cooling the pin. That's it, and I'll do this. That's all bolted up now. That's pretty much straightened. A new fan belt because it was in the cab, but it's obviously snapped. Glad to spend in the pocket money on the snap-on van on stuff that they never knew they never needed. They never knew that they couldn't do with. They never knew what they never knew they needed, and now they can't do without. This is now in bits. I found a piece of tube there that I might be able to make my own sleeve to build that up, but I'm going to get a price on maybe just someone professionally doing it. Got the bushes. We obviously had to heat that up, need a new pin, but we can get one made for 100 quid. This mirror's obviously snapped off and someone's drilled right through with a pin, if you can see, knocked it right through, which has then made it so that that's snapped. So I need to cut that off, weld some thread on it, drill that pin out that's in that hole in the middle, put a roll pin back in so it locates on them castle headed bits, and then put a nut in there because the spring actually is still inside, and then that should fix that. Just got that in the vise now to pull that pin out that's been drilled through, and someone at some stage, without me realising, the bracket had obviously been snapped, so they drilled it, tapped it, and then also tried gluing it. But it still works, it's just obviously been broken twice. I'll drill that snap roll pin out of there now, put a new one in, weld a thread on, Should be in business. That was the nail that was holding it on before. So ground that down now. I'm going to cut the head off this bolt, weld that onto there, and that should be done. The bearing's gone in here, and I think on that side. So we're just working out how to get at it best, because when it folds out you can't get in. So what we're going to do is ratchet strap that up to this frame, the same that side, undo them bolts so it can't fall out, then fold it flat, lower it down, take the bolts out the other end, lift the machine up, drive forward, and it should leave the rollers behind, and we'll change the bearings on the rollers and then back it back up and reverse the process, hopefully. That's the plan anyway. Taking the bolts out of there now, got ratchet straps holding the rollers to the frame, fold it flat, drop it down, undo the 4 bolts on the other end, because obviously we can't get at them bolts now, it's unfolded. Just go unfold a bit more, a little bit, well, try that, down on that now. Right, undo the bolts at the end now and then lift out the way. Go to the other end. Right, if he lifts up now, hopefully the rollers will stay behind. Oh, watch Sam's car! There you go. Oh, go up a bit higher, go up a bit higher. Ah, higher. That's it. Right, go on. There we go. So roll this back now. We can get that bearing in a race off there. And then this is the outer race. It obviously completely knackered. Don't know how no one noticed. And that one is nearly as bad. We've got a part number on that one. Chopping that off there now. In a race. Got the bearing off. It's obviously totally knackered. See the ball bearings have fell out of it. Actually says on it Amazon there. But the engineering place think that they might have one in because I've given them that code. So made by SNR. So I'm going to go up see if they've got one. But really I could do with 4 while we've got it in bits and we'll replace them all, because 2 are definitely good and 2 are rumbling. So we'll see what they say. No luck, I can only get the inner bit, and obviously this one is pretty worn, but the other one is totally knackered. So they're gonna get them off the main dealer instead. Also, my alternator on the sprayer, it needs a component inside. It's £105 to fix it, which isn't that dear, but unfortunately the part won't arrive till tomorrow morning, and I'm not going to go and buy a genuine John Deere one, because they're only Bosch or Lucas stuff inside them anyway, so I may as well just get the one I've got refurbed. So that's hence why I'm not spraying today, and we're messing around doing stuff in the workshop. Just found another horseshoe. Look at the size of that. Must have been a massive Shire horse. Just been stone picking where we filled that hole in the other day, and I found that massive horseshoe that had come out of the pond, and it's like, I don't know, nearly a foot in size, so it must have been one hell of a horse. I'm just going to finish this mirror off now. We just took the headstock that was worn to an engineering firm to see if they could drill it out and put a bush in. Anyway, they won't quite fit in their machinery, so I'm going to have a go with a tube I've found as well. But it's just a bit of a frustrating day doing stuff in the workshop when we can't be spraying because I'm waiting for the alternator, unless I nicked it off Adam 69. Right, so I've bolted that back on now with them bolts. I'll put the other 2 in and put some JB weld on there, stick that in there like that, and then this spring will go back in, and then put a nut and a washer in, and that's the mirror bracket hopefully fixed. A bit long that bolt, but I can cut it off once it's back together. This is what it should look like, and this is this one. Totally cabbaged. It's like worn the housing totally away. This was yesterday's quiz question. Everyone thought it was either a fire extinguisher bracket or a ram stop. Well, in fact, it is a link ball holder. And it's got like a plate in the back that stops them rattling, because some tractors, they just have like a pole that you stick them on, and they rattle when the tractor's on idle, and they're really annoying. Can't believe how many people got that wrong. I thought that was a really easy one. But yeah, you can fit 3 category 3 link balls into it, and then the clip can hold them in as well. Not that they'd ever bounce out, to be fair. They're pretty well fixed in, but that's where they live. A few other things on the back of the tractor while I'm here. Obviously you've got your air brakes, your spill valves, so these are basically the hydraulics that make things like the rollers behind unfold and fold out and things like that. We've got hydraulic brakes here as well. We've got the pipes that would go for the pick-up hitch, which we're not using at the moment, so they're just unplugged. They should be in these little holders. We've got an ABS plug up here, I think. No, that's the ISO plug, sorry. The ABS plug is hit here. Find it there. That's the ABS plug. Hydraulic top link, which is basically a ram that goes in and out, so we can adjust the machines from in the cab, which is handy. And you've obviously got PTO shaft down here. We can spin that at 4 different speeds on this tractor, and that's what will provide power to like balers and power harrows and different things. And you've obviously got your hitch down here, and then on the Continent, in these sliders, they have adjustable hitches that go up and down there, because they don't really put any weight on the back of the tractor when they're towing. The trailers normally have 4 wheels in all 4 corners, and they pull them all straight like that. This is the one that's supposed to be going soon. We're obviously having the demonstrator, which is the new generation tractor. Don't know where it is yet. I believed it was supposed to be coming within like a week or something, and that was, I don't know, 3 weeks ago now. So we've still got this one, so if Gary's watching, where is it? And also Andrew wants to know where his 403 JCB is as well. Seeing as how you had what I thought was an easy question yesterday, but turned out to be a hard one. Does anyone know what that yellow button does there in the middle on the back fender? One would God. For those that found that too easy, does anyone know what that does? If you think you know, leave a comment below. Don't know whether anyone remembers, but last year I unloaded a laser cutter. Anyway, the guy that I unloaded it for has made me this for the workshop. And then also made that. You can see it's reflective. Another T&J wagon going out with some rape on. Always dead shiny. I'm in the offices now, took my boots off. The heating's stuck on in one of the offices, so I'm just going to go and see what's wrong with that. It's not been a day farming, that's for sure. Don't know whether anyone remembers, but I was on about getting one of these for the offices. The defibrillator, well actually I didn't need to get one in the end because the office behind me already had one, so we've mounted it in the communal area of the offices now. So if anyone in Tarbuck needs a defibrillator, we've got one in our office. And I know there's one in Cronton as well, and there's one in Halewood. That's about it for today. Adam and Sam are checking out the Instagram, what's happened today, and TikTok. Yeah, don't forget your outros. This one's from Ollie Peck, so I'll see you all tomorrow.